Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We are in Atma Bodha, verse number 15, 14. We are looking at Anadya Vidya Nirvachya Karanopadiruchyate Upadhi Tridayadanyam Atmanam Avadharayet. It is told avidya, another word for it is ignorance, which is indescribable, anirvachya. Because how can you talk about that about which you don't know anything? Huh? So, and it is beginningless. If a child comes and asks a father or grandfather, why was I not there when you got married? Or where was I when you got married? Every child asks this question. At least in India they do. I don't know about here. Huh? Huh? Where was I? They say you are hiding behind us. So cannot be answered. Cannot be. Ignorance is beginningless. When did it begin? We don't know. We can't talk about it. And this ignorance expresses at the individual level or the total level as the causal body. It is the cause out of which the effect comes out. Effect is the waking and the dream. Know for certain that the Atman is other than these three conditioning bodies. What are the three bodies? Gross body, subtle body and causal body. We have looked at the gross and the subtle, now the causal. And in this way, the avidya, another definition of avidya is that which appears, which is as well as it is not. The whole thing is expression of this avidya. When we use this term, something is existing in its own absence, phenomena. So you are seeing the phenomena, sunrise and sunset, but actually it is not existing. This is what it means, that it is and it is not. And this is our experience. We are going through this, everything in life. We are looking at everything as straight, but actually everything in our retina is upside down. And we are looking at straight world. We see on a full moon night there are clouds. We all have made this mistake. See the moon running through the clouds. Is the moon running? It's the cloud. But the movement of the clouds is superimposed on the moon. Another example. You are sitting in a train is going very fast, and you start saying, see how quickly the trees are moving, or how quickly the landscape which is around when you are looking out of the train, how quickly it is moving. It's not moving, the train is moving. Have you ever sat down in a train and another train is going by, and it's going at such a great speed that you have the feeling that your train is stationary. but you feel that your train is moving. Illusion. On the stationary train, the movement was superimposed. On the stationary moon, relatively, the movement of the cloud was superimposed. Exactly the same way, on the permanent, stationary, unmoving, without activity principle called Atma, the causal body, subtle body, and the gross body is superimposed. Exactly that way. And that you are. That Atma you are. Understand in this manner. See? And this becomes very, very evident as our mind slows down. And in this way, do not try to work out ignorance. Do not put energy and efforts to work out what is this body, what is this mind, what is this, uh, what is this, what is the cause of these two. The cause is ignorance. To some extent, you can come to, as this Vivek Chudamani yesterday said, it can tell you a little bit about the body. It can tell you a little bit about your mind, even less about your mind than the body. But that cause out of which, that ignorance out of which these two have come, only in these words what we are saying, that it can be. It is and it is not. It is beginningless. And this way, do not spend time and energy working out what is ignorance. And this is what a lot of people, when they are on the seat of meditation, they only focus on the emptiness. They only think about the void. That is not the goal. We have to be the presence. Be the presence in whose presence the gross, the subtle, and the causal bodies are coming and going. And how do you know they are coming and going? Causal body, subtle body, and gross body? How do you know they are coming and going? Three states. Deep sleep is the causal, dream is the subtle, and waking is the gross. Okay? In this way, understand. Everything is connected if you look at it. So, and importantly, our fascination with this world, our fascination with dreams, our fascination with deep sleep, our fascination with the gross body and the gross world. Why do we come to a teacher? Why do we come to the scriptures? Why do we sit to meditate? To prove there is ignorance? Or to prove, or to come to realize that we are the Atman, isn't it? So don't indulge in that area. Why is the body like this? It is like this. Why the world is like this? It is like this. Drop it. Accept it is like this. If you ask one question, 10 answers, 10 doubts, 100 doubts, and then you will get caught up before you know what was the reason that you came on the seat of meditation. Get out of this type of duragraha, insisting that I need to work out the world, I need to work out the gross body, I need to work out the subtle body, I need to understand the deep, the causal body, then I will come to know who I am. No. In spite of all this, you are. So the seeker should not try to work out ignorance. The moment you think about, contemplate on the Atmic principle, that very moment, yesterday I explained in Vivek Chudamani. That very moment, the, what you are thinking about, the self. What is the self? It is self-effulgent. It is it is self-illumined. It is of the nature of light. That very moment, the darkness. What is darkness? The veiling power. What is veiling power? The ignorance. All this starts vanishing. Without you working it out. All we have to do is remain focused, remain aware that we are the Atmic principle. Panchakoshadiyogena tattanmaya eva sthitah shuddhatmanilavastradi yogena svatiko yatha. Another example is taken. In its identification with the five sheaths, the immaculate Atman appears to have borrowed their qualities upon itself, as in the case of a crystal which appears to gather unto itself the color of its vicinity. If a crystal is lying on a red cloth, we'll say, oh, a red crystal, when we look at it. Only when we take it away from the table, then we will realize that it is crystal clear. If it is on the blue, it will look like blue. So, the color of the tablecloth has been superimposed on the pure crystal. Exactly the same way. What is crystal? Immaculate. What is crystal? That which has no color. Same way, this Atma also is immaculate. It is nothing can touch it, nothing can make it impure. And yet, right now this funny character is there who's speaking, who's listening. Who is this funny character? He is the one. On the Atma, the three bodies have been superimposed. So just like the color is superimposed on the crystal, and we start from far away, we say that it is a red crystal or a blue crystal or a yellow crystal. Same way, here we are saying, I am the gross body, I am the subtle body, I am the causal body. You are not able to, you have not gone away from this to see that the Atma is ever pure. It is not this or that. It is, that's it. Nothing can be. So, superimposition means what? What does superimposition mean? Signify that something has been stuck on to something, isn't it? So, a child superimposes the mother on the woman. A husband superimposes the wife on the woman. Huh? The employer superimposes the employee on the woman. Actually, it is a woman. If you remain a woman, you will not be affected by any roles that you are playing. Who are miserable? The roles. Who is miserable? The roles. Is the woman miserable? Cannot be. Exactly the same way. Where is the movement? Gross, subtle and causal.
Reflection.
In
the reflection.
Not in the reflection. Not in the reflection.
But not in the dream, in the deep sleep state that it's reflected?
What? Movement.
That blankness, that emptiness sort of. That
it is of the nature. Emptiness is not something. No. So it is not reflected. Reflection is only of like reflection is of the consciousness in the intellect. Yes, we understand. But intellect, mind, breath, body are a product of ignorance called the Anandamaya Kosh. It's only that but now can't say that the deep sleep is reflection. No, deep sleep is a state of utter ignorance where no movement is. The expression of waking and dream worlds, which is all movement, is absent. That is the state of a deep sleep. You can't say deep sleep is a reflection.
No, that was incorrect of me.
The Atma is the reflection. Reflect consciousness reflects as reflected consciousness. And that reflected consciousness then is called, takes the form of a thought, and we go through whatever we are going through. So Atma, in Atma no movement is possible. In Atma no activity is possible. In Atma no past, present, future. In Atma no degradation or upgradation is possible. In Atma no coming and going is possible. And all these things that I just said, then how come we are feeling that way? That I was born, that I am getting old, that I am getting white hair, that I had to, all these things. Because we have superimposed the matter, the three bodies on ourselves. Why have we done that? Because of ignorance. We have taken that on ourselves, because we have forgotten who we are. The moment we forget, this phenomena begins. If you remain aware, no problem. Not aware of it, aware of the self. How I explained the other day. So movement is possible only in the gross body, in the subtle body. And if you take the three bodies, the coming and going of the three bodies, that itself is a movement. But that movement is superimposed on the Atma, and the Atma starts thinking, I am moving, I am hungry, I am breathing, I am thinking. And if that thing and all those activities stop by, oh, I think I'm having, my legs are not moving, I don't know what is happening. Oh, I don't know, my breath is very shallow, am I going to die? I don't want to die. Oh, my thoughts are not coming. What is the phone number of Shantam? Oh, I think I'm getting dementia. My God, I have to do Sudoku. Stupid. This is us, isn't it? Moodaha. Yesterday it came Moodaha. Ye Shiv Moodaha. Shankaracharya, many places he calls us as the Moodaha. Those who are caught up in this. Even Bhaj Govindam also. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Moodhamate. Mood again. Mood is this unique ability unique ability of the jiva to consider himself to be the gross body, subtle body, and causal body. This is the stupidity. So recognize. Don't you know that the body is moving? Yes. Don't you know the breath is moving? Yes. Then if you observer and the observed have to be necessarily separate in order for knowledge at the mind level to take place. So if the body is, my hand is moving, spontaneously it is going on. Am I aware? Yes. So that means I have to be other than this movement of the hand, of the body. Am I aware that the breath is moving? Oh, now you have reminded me, now I know. It's going on by itself, I am not doing anything. Oh, so you are the observer of the breath, which is the observed. Are you aware that the thoughts are coming? Yes, if I look at it, were you aware just half a second ago when your attention went to this jiva? It went there and it came. Are you aware? Yes. So even though that distraction was there, and you came back again to the balance, to the focus, that momentary distraction, you were aware of it, then who was aware of it? So that distraction was of the mind. The one who is aware is the observer, is this fellow. So this is happening many times, but we are missing the point. Life is giving us enough opportunity to fall back into ourselves or be ourselves. But we are insisting that I am the body, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to, you know, I have to. Because we are not taking that step back. So here teacher is telling, Adi Shankaracharya is telling, take that one step back. You have never been the three bodies, you can never be the three bodies. They are mere superimpositions. You have taken on those three bodies as I, and then created suffering and bondage and conditioning and considered yourself to be limited. Actually, you are the limitless, unconditioned, self-existing reality. Get out of this. So in this way, what are these five sheets? We have already talked. So Panchakoshadi Yogena Tattanmaya Ivasthitaha. He identifies with the five sheets. Again, we'll repeat once more. What are the five sheets? The gross body, Annamaya Kosh, the vital air sheath, the Pranamaya Kosh, the mental body, the Manomaya Kosh, the intellectual body, the Vijnanmaya Kosh, and the bliss sheath, the Anandamaya Kosh. These can be put in another way. Anandmaya Kosh is the deep sleep state or the causal body. Intellect, mind and breath, they are the subtle body, and the physical is the gross body. That you can, it's the same. So gross body, subtle body or causal body, or the same three can be spoken of as the five sheets. And this jiva gets identified with that. Shuddhatma Neela Vastradi. Atma is essentially pure, and as if, this word as if is Adi Shankaracharya's commentary on everything. As if is very, very important word here. Brahman as if becomes two. Brahman as if becomes aware of his own potentiality, and then he is called as Ishwar and Prakriti. As if. But we forget that as if, and we only focus on he became the two. How did he become the two? We told it is as if. It's a happeningless happening. it's a, as we said, what is ignorance? It is also and it is not also. Yogena Sphatika. So all this is clear. Then Vapustushadibhi koshaihi yuktam yuktyaavadhatataha atmanamantaram shuddham vivicyatuntandulam yatha. He says, through discriminative self-analysis and logical thinking, one should separate the pure self from the one should separate the pure self within from the five sheaths, as one separates the rice from the husk, bran, etc., that are covering it. So, how do we come to know this essential self that the scriptures are again and again talking about? The teacher is beckoning us to dive into ourselves and consciously, without going to sleep, dissect everything that you are not. And this is called viveka, isn't it? Between the real and the unreal. What is the definition of real? That which is That which does not
Unchanging.
change, right? That which is permanent, that which is unchanging, that which is self knowing, that which is ever blissful, that which is not born, that which does not die. Now start working. What in me is exactly the opposite? Is this body born? My God, I have not even reached death. Already I am not the body. What do I do next? Oh, please help, help, help. You know?
I'm a ghost.
Yes. So this way the carpet is pulled from under your carpet, under your feet. And what are you left with? If you don't, if your focus is out extrovert, you are left with nothing. If the attention is on the self, on the one who is aware that the carpet has been pulled off, then there you are. There you are. वो कपड़ा देना का वो टिश्यू बॉक्स देना जरा प्लीज हाँ हाँ एक दो दे दो थैंक्स and there you are. But we have to find the inspiration within us to make this dissection, this experiment, rather than remain in the automatic loop of I am the body, I have to sleep, I have to wake up, this, that, blah, 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 blah. Goes on. A continuous chatter goes on. Recognize how to stop the chatter. How to stop it. Accept, find out what is chatter. Too many thoughts. Are thoughts permanent? When you look at the whole thing, oh my God, whole day the mental chatter was going on. I don't know. In the morning, there's a lot of chatter going on. How do I get rid of this? You cannot. You did not create it. It's coming. From where? Yesterday you saw from the subconscious. Whatever data you have collected, maybe too much data collected. Huh? Then what is the way? That this chatter has a beginning and an end. It is composed of many, many thoughts. Analyze. Every thought has a beginning and end. I am observing that these thoughts are coming and going. Oh, but I can't. I'm just hearing the chatter. So, if the chatter is about many thoughts, it must be about something. It cannot be just Om. If that is the chatter, then very good. You are in a very good space. If that is not the case, and lot of words are coming in the mind, come to this conclusion that this talk that is going on in the mind is made up of thoughts. Thoughts are limited. Thoughts are having a beginning and end, and I am observing these thoughts coming and going. Maybe I am not observing every single thought. I am just taking the entire chatter as an event. Our attention is on the chatter. At that moment, if you shift attention from the chatter to the observer, chatter is here. This is the chatter. The observer is ever aware of the chatter, but he superimposes that this chatter I am. But it has consciousness and matter. They are having two opposite qualities. How can two opposing forces get married? They have to repel. But yet, this is what we are, no? Matter is there, and through the matter, life principle is expressing. We think it is expressing. We think that the life principle is inside the body. We have never even considered, could it be the other way around? Like in Ashtavakra Gita, King Janaka asked Ashtavakra, I have a question. What is it? last night I dreamt that about a butterfly. Now my question is, did I dream the butterfly or the butterfly dreamt me? And then the inquiry begins. So, so separate yourself. Understand that you are not the gross body, you are not the subtle body, you are not the causal body. You are the independent principle, ever free, ever immaculate, ever unconditioned, limitless, infinite in nature, ever blissful, and if anything contrary to that is expressing, cut it up through analysis, through viveka, and come back to yourself, the original you, not the imagined you. That imagined you is on account of the conditionings. Come to the original you. And this opportunity is available with every breath, that opportunity is available with every action, that opportunity is available with every moment, that opportunity is available. To who? To the jiva. To the jiva. Atma is ever independent, and that's what you are. But where are you imagining? Not in Atma. Where are you imagining? In the mind, isn't it? So this is the fine dissection that is taking place now. All thinking is happening in the mind, all word knowledge is taking place in the mind, all seeking is happening in the mind, all non-seeking is also happening in the mind, all conditioning is happening in the mind, all unconditioning is happening in the mind. The idea of studying the scriptures, liberation, bondage is all in the mind alone. And you are the observer of all this that is going on in the mind, isn't it? Otherwise, how will you come to know? Oh, but memories are also in the mind. You know, the memory has come, this was a memory. So be that one who is ever immaculate, who is ever pure. Don't fall down to the level of conditioning. And it's not an exercise. Nothing can be done to be. You are. In spite of everything going on, you are. At this moment also, you are. Be that. Don't fight with the mind. Don't fight with the memories. Don't fight with the chatter. Don't fight with the body. Because the nature of the matter is movement. Nature of matter is movement. In the presence of the moment sun comes up, activity begins. Even before the sun came up, you got up and you came here. Isn't it? Activity begins just with the idea that the light is going to come, the darkness starts going away and activity begins. Slumber goes away, inertia goes away, activity begins. So where in a dead man there is no activity? So how is this activity going on here? Because of the presence of that infinite light, that presence. You are that presence, and watch the activity going on. And you don't have to make an effort to watch, because watching is happening all the time. All the time. There has never been a moment that you have not been an observer, you have not been a witness. When we come to the scriptures, we are just made to recognize what is already taking place, nothing else.
Swamiji, is the witness, is it prior to the subtle body? Was it part of the subtle body? The witness.
It's I thought. Who is undisturbed by the coming and goings of the gross, subtle and causal.
Okay, so it's before the subtle body.
No.
Prior. It's product of mind.
Where will the thought come? Where will thought come? Can it come before the mind? Where will it come? In the mind only. That mind, what did I say? See this beautiful example. I gave the example of the sun the other day. Here, the light is reflecting on the, illuminating the wall. It's getting reflected. The same light is everywhere, isn't it? But here it is general light, there it is specific light, isn't it? Similarly, sometimes you can see the sun there from the, if the light is coming from the window, the sunlight, it's general light. But I put a magnifying glass in between, what will happen? That same light is becoming a specific, concentrated at one point, isn't it? And it has its own effulgence also. It also illuminates a certain area. So in that mind or that thought, where the consciousness expresses, is called the I thought, the reflected consciousness. That is the intellect. And what is the rest of it? Where the data is coming in from outside or inside. That is the mind. So intellect, there is no 100% sure conclusive talk about, because we are talking about matter. So these are the different ways they are explaining. So in intellect, the I thought appears. In the mind, the that thought appears. The subject is the I thought, object is the that thought. So I know you, I know the camera, I know the body, I know the breath, I know the mind, I know the intellect, I know the deep sleep state, waking state, dream state, I know gods, I know there is a heaven, I know there is a hell, blah blah blah. Everything you know, isn't it? So in every statement, I was common denominator. Where is this I? That I is the reflected consciousness. Then that reflected consciousness, just like the light, specific light is the I, general light is the...
Right. And that, in a way, it reflects the three bodies, the subtle and causal and the physical. Without the I, there wouldn't be the three.
That is the phenomena.
The three states.
The moment three come,
that.
I has to be there.
That's the that.
I?
Those three are the that. That's the I, and then the three is that.
You can say that way, because right now where is the knowledge taking place?
In the mind.
In the mind. So mind is a play between subject and object.
Yes.
We are thinking causal state, oh my God. Where is the causal state? Right now I'm in the waking state. Where has causal state gone? The one who is other than the three states is the eternal knower. It cannot be a thought. Who knows? He is the eternal witness, in whose presence everything is going on.
That's the I.
But without a thought.
Without a thought. Okay.
That
That's
clarification.
it's
Without a thought.
Yeah.
Is the waker available in the dream or the deep sleep? No. How does a waker know he is a waker? I thought. Then who knows that these three states, if at this very moment when I say, yesterday you were a waker, dreamer and deep sleeper, yes, who came to know? Who was available there? It must have been other than these three. Thoughts can appear only in the waking and the dream. But we are talking about the one who is knowing that these three came and went. And when this knowing was taking place, which is always taking place, because it was not a particular event yesterday that you came to know these three came and went. You must have been there all the time to have known, to have been illuminating these three states coming and going, isn't it? Were you thinking that time? So when I ask the question, you immediately, from somewhere this information, knowledge comes that yeah, I know that these three came and went. When you make that statement, mind is making that statement, but the observation was of the witness.
Yes. Such as I slept deeply.
So right, yes. So right, that is after waking up. Who came to know that the mind was sleeping?
I did.
But which I? Is it the one who is talking or the one who is independent of this talking? Ah. So this fine tuning happens in deep contemplation. It will not happen. It can happen here also. They say Shravanam, but one has to be available. One has to be available. So that witnessing, that eternal witness, is functioning even right now. Because if I ask you the same question tomorrow, you say, today also I was. I know that three came and went. But you are not being that. Instead, you have taken the role of a conditioned consciousness rather than the consciousness as it is. Because our attention, our obsession is on the conditionings. That is the reason. Clear? So when we gave the example of space, our attention is on the walls. That's why we are calling it a house. Space is neither a room space, nor a toilet space, nor a lounge space. Space is space. But we call it by different names because of the conditionings. So every thinking that is going on in the mind is on account of conditioning. If you think that I am separate to these three, the idea is very clear in your mind. But who is that? Again you start thinking. Again you start thinking and you lose the plot. Again, because thinking will bring you back into the mind. And mind can never come to know the truth.
Swamiji, I'm watching what appears to be happening is I'm clear on something, and then ignorance just takes over my mind again, and then I'm unclear again, and then it seems it gets cleared by you.
This clarity and unclarity is also known by someone. It's happening in the presence of someone. The I is identified with clarity and unclarity. So he is noticing. Now we are not talking about the eternal, we are talking about the individual here. So he is noticing that now I am very clear. Now I am not clear. Now I am very clear. Now I am not clear. But this is the phenomena. This will go on. You cannot run away from it. If your attention is going to be on the phenomena, you will remain in the loop. In spite of the phenomena, like I asked you the question, who was the one who was aware of the three states coming and going? You must ask the question to yourself, who is aware of the phenomena of clarity and unclarity coming and going? It does not matter, it's because of the mind is asking the questions, I am answering, it does not matter. Take the whole picture, that clarity is taking place in the mind, then unclarity. And what is unclarity? And take it on a daily basis. Deep sleep is unclarity, confusion is unclarity, ignorance is unclarity, height of ignorance is deep sleep. Waking, everything is clear. Seems to be. Isn't it? But this is how, when we give value. So whom are we giving value? If our attention is on clarity and unclarity, what have we accepted? That I am a thinking person. And what is your nature? The one who's illuminating thinking.
Yes.
Understand? So that has to be caught now while we are talking. that you are the illuminator. So let talking go on. Let the dialogue go on. Mind will respond automatically. If there is doubt, it cannot hold on, it will pop it out. But you be the observer behind, be the witness behind. And the more we stand apart, undisturbed by the coming and going of clarity or unclarity, the more we stand apart, then clarity will become more, unclarity will become less. Only by stand. The more you identify with this, the more confusion. The more you disidentify, more clarity. How? That's not your concern. Because you are not giving value and attention to the matter, vestibule. And the more you stand apart, while everything is going on, it doesn't have to be a special event. Because that capacity within you to stand apart is always. And how do you stand apart? By not reacting to anything that is going on in life. Even if the mind reacts, don't take the ownership of it. Then that will start reflecting in your disposition, in your speech. That yeah, it's all happening, it's okay. Shit happens. You know, Australians say, shit happens, man. Okay, it happens. Yeah, they're true. It's right. It's always happening. The mind is always having a diarrhea. What to do? And we are trying to constipate it. And the moment we try, from where ideas come this mind? You know? And the more we try to constipate, this fellow says, no, more pressure and more diarrhea. See? So, here the point that is being made is recognize it in this manner, because right now we are not established in the self. The seeker is being addressed, that these three bodies have been superimposed on the self, and you are the self. And unknowingly you have taken the bodies to be yourself, and now you are going through. And how do you come to know? Through your disposition, through language. That I am going to sleep now, I am awake now, I am confused now, I am clear now, I am hungry now, I am, emotional now. It goes on and on and on. At the body level, what are the comfort and discomfort? Is at the body level. You will react to it. If the heat and cold is at the body level. So one must not get affected by heat and cold. Remain calm. If heater is on, you should not worry. If it is off, thought should not go through the mind. And even if it has gone, no, I am independent of this. That is titiksha. The ability to forbear at the body level. At all levels, but I am telling you here. Then at the breath level, what is the titiksha at the breath level? Hunger and thirst. If hunger is not satiated, we get, angry. Chidchide ho jate, you get irritated. So, remain calm, remain equanimous, remain aloof. Why am I getting disturbed by this? Find reasons how you can go beyond it. Explore. Find ways. When I'm sleepy, if I don't sleep, isn't it when my exams came in year 12 and university, and at night the sleep came, but when I kept forcing myself to study, after some time the sleep went away. Then hunger also goes away. That is also my observation. Then why am I becoming irritated? Because my desire is not getting fulfilled. Of hunger. Stand apart. Stand apart. Emotions the same way. Convictions also the same way. Interact with them. That everything at all these various bodies level or sheath level, everything is worthy of discard. Nothing has to be held. Memories don't have to be held. World doesn't need to be held. That is what we are holding on to. I am a sannyasi, I am a healer, I am a retired fellow, I am doing this, I am doing that. Who cares? Who cares? We have to come back to the original position. And for that, courage is required to initially to let go of all this. And then you will find that as you are letting go of everything, I'm not the body, I'm not the breath, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect. At the mind level, I told you emotions. At the intellect, emotions are likes and dislikes. They generate the emotions. And at the intellectual level, praise and insult. And we react to that. These invoke reactions because we have given value to them that I am someone, don't mess with me. I'll curse you, I'll bless you. What is it? Who will you curse? Who will you bless? This is the matter. Speaking stops if you come to this point. From the self point, no speaking is possible. Only in the mind all the speaking is gross body, the speech is coming from the mouth. And speech is nothing but thoughts grossified. So the more we come back to this state of equanimity, remain non-reactionary to anything that is going on at the five sheath level, including bliss and ecstasy. Otherwise, you see many people going in bhajan, they are going away, and ha ha ha, all this drama goes on. You have to remain equanimous. If it goes on, it goes on. It's nothing to do with me. You are observing it. That is the true silence, not the silence of the mind. That silence of the mind is a temporary silence. True silence is that there is no effort to stop anything that is going on, and yet you are you stand apart from everything that is going on. That one is of the nature of silence. That is maunam. That is what Dakshinamurti talks about. Maunam vyakhya prakatita parabrahma. That is the eloquent silence. It is not the dull silence. Mind silence is the dull silence. Because attention is on Prakriti. But when you come to this, even right now also, see, sometimes you go to a temple, sometimes you go to some ashram, or you come across a Mahatma. Suddenly, everything seems to be going on, but yet there is a deep silence within you. That deep silence is not of the mind. You have fallen back into yourself. But very quickly the mind will again come and claim that it is I who went into silence. It is not. And who is this mind? The I thought. The ego takes charge. Ego is not some independent principle. It is another concoction of the mind alone. Just like if you put heat and water together, what will you get? Steam. Is the steam in the water? No. Water is water. A third thing is created. So when subject and object come together, bang, 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 continuously this interaction is going on of subject, object, subject, object, subject, object. And subject has always been the same. Objects are changing. But for any thought to appear, subject and object have to be there. So really speaking, at any given moment, only one subject, one object creates one thought. Then the next thought, subject, object. Then the third thought, subject, object. But it's happening at such a great speed. This subject starts thinking, I am a continuous principle. I am a continuous one. Nothing wrong with it, because self is continuous. It is not broken. But we are talking about the thought. We are talking about the thought. I see you, I see you, I see the sofa, I see the camera. I is common. Everywhere the I was used, isn't it? But each I is separate in relation to the separate objects. The thought aspect I am saying. But this thought, this idea that this I is a continuous one is what the ghost is, the ego. It is also existing in its own absence. So, and when this inquiry is done, when a seeker looks at all his experiences subjectively, he comes to see that all these experiences are happening and he is the observer, and he comes to realize that this jiva or the soul or the atma is separate from the conditioning layers. He is not the layers. And as a result, then if he keeps coming to this conclusion again and again and again that he is the one, he is other than the five layers, he is other than the five layers, he is other than the five sheets, he is other than the three bodies, again and again come to this. This is the inquiry. Someday by the grace it will click. Then who the hell am I? Who am I then? If I am other than these five sheets, till now I was thinking I am all this. Now, okay, now I'm convinced that I am not all this, because it's my direct, within me, I know. I may not be able to communicate it to anyone, but I know that I am not these five. Then the question is, who is this me? Now, the moment he sincerely, the seeker sincerely, this question appears in the mind of the seeker, that very moment, this fellow, who am I? Bang. It will automatically happen. That question is a trigger. That's all. And then again the sometimes the phenomena will, then the mind will say, oh, I am that. Again gone. Watch, the mind is saying that. Otherwise it will get caught up again. And in this way,
I thought once that happens, then it's complete.
I told you, no?
Sad.
So all these enlightenment intensives are going on, no, in the society, all over the world. Instant realization will give you,
Yeah.
instant enlightenment. This is what it is. They different exercises. You just watch the pranas, you watch the breath, you watch the mind. Keep your attention where the feet are touching when you are walking, where the earth is, that point. So you can do certain things and you can fall into that space of absolute clarity. But you have not sorted the mind yet. The mind, yesterday I gave you the example, no? It needs to be devoured by the fire of realization. That does not happen in one go. It will take time.
Okay, so
It will take time, and that's what Yoga Vasishta gives you, the last 4 stages of purification.
so those three haven't collapsed yet.
They will keep coming.
They can temporarily collapse.
They can they have temporarily collapsed. You have fallen into Nirvikalpa Samadhi,
Right.
but when you come out of Nirvikalpa Samadhi, the world is still there. Vivek Chudamani, they said, having a glimpse, what we saw in last 2-3 weeks ago, 3-4 classes ago, that topic came, that having a glimpse is not equal to abidance. So this is the glimpse. Right now also you are very clear what, as we are discussing, as to what the Atmic principle is, very clear. Nothing else needs to be done. But are we steadily abiding in it? Now, what needs to be done? Again and again coming to this conclusion. Again and again, because the mind is so programmed to take control, to talk about it. Talking about it, what can you do? The mind is doing it. You stand apart, stand apart, stand apart, stand apart from everything that is going on. That is the, as the master said, that's the razor's edge. You can fall this way, fall into extrovertedness, into thinking that I am.
So is it that the mind has to become a servant so that it sees its own nature and see that it's only temporary?
Mind cannot see its own nature, no. That's what we are saying. Mind has got no capacity to come to know the truth.
Okay.
Mind is a superimposition on the truth. Can the day come to know who the sun is?
It's ridiculous.
Can the wave come to know what the infinite waters are? Forget infinite water, even the ocean. There are many oceans. Can the wave come to know what an ocean is? It has to give up its waveness. And then there is no question of not knowing. What is waveness? Identification with birth and death. Identification with form is waveness. What is it essentially? Water. Now take the wave to be yourself. This form popped up in time, pop out in time one day, and it is happening every moment anyway. We don't realize that.
So we can't understand the mechanism on why it seems as if consciousness associates with temporality.
There is no answer to that.
There's no answer.
It just happens.
You're looking for the
It is beginningless.
Okay.
Ignorance is beginningless.
All right. I understand finally.
Don't go in that direction. It will take you in the wrong way.
Yeah. I've been looking for an answer for that for a long time.
No,
and there's
no.
no answer.
There is no answer for that.
Now I see it.
When did consciousness get identified with matter?
Yeah. Or why?
Why? Why?
Now I see why.
Why do the day and night appear? When was the first day that appeared on the earth? Stupid question, isn't it? Why the eyes see and sometimes not see when they blink? It's like that, except are we out here to validate the phenomena, or are we here to ascertain that I am the one in whose presence the phenomena happens? You are trying to work out the phenomena. We have to come back to the... See, when just, I must have said this so many times, but it just shakes you up from inside. This talking is a phenomena at this moment. Seeing, hearing, touching, feeling is a phenomena. Just melts. Everything starts melting the moment you come to this position. Continuing. I think we have completed Atma Bodh just now.
Sorry.
No, it's good. Nothing sorry. Why sorry? So, wave realizing that it is infinite water will be its realization, isn't it? This individual who is thinking he is the body, breath, mind, intellect, he disidentifying with all this and falling back and recognizing that he is that eternal in whose presence not only this body, breath, mind, intellect are functioning, it is enlivening it, but every body, every breath, every mind, every intellect. This is the vision of the totality. Okay. And when you come to this, and then as you say, oh, but the material cause also is the self only, because where does the potentiality come out from? Is it existing separately from the Atma? Is ignorance having a separate existence from the self?
No.
Is darkness or daylight, day or night, darkness and light, are they having separate existence from the sun? Oh, so good and bad, the gods and the demons, are they having a different, separate existence from the God? Everything is included in that one. Then even this idea that I am the one who is expressing through everything, I am the one who is enlivening all this also, that happens at the time of when the body goes away. But this realization, Jivan Mukta Purusha, is the one who has had the Atma Bodh. While living, this is his experience, that everything is in my presence. Then that Dargah Swami whom I met in Kadapa near Puttaparthi, he said, not even a grain of sand in this world can move without my permission. See? These are the these are the transcendental thoughts where no conclusion is possible. You keep thinking, keep coming to that position, keep coming to that position which cannot be thought of. But you know it is your experience. What is your experience? I know the three, waking, dream and deep sleep, came and went yesterday. But you try to be that, you cannot, because where you are trying? In the mind. You cannot. So you know, yet you don't know. Because you are trying to be that now, and that trying is happening at either it will happen at the sheath level only. Activity happens at the sheath level only. So even though the activity is taking place, that yes, I am that, I know, who is this? You try to fine tune. Watch that this is what mind is doing. It has got nothing to do with you. Is the journey is in the mind, by the mind, only to dissolve the mind. So this ability, the example that was given was that, what was it? Like the bran is removed, but husk is removed from the rice. Like that. Rice is separate, husk is separate, isn't it? But when they are combined, you can't see it. You see it as one. Right now we see ourselves as one, consciousness and matter together. Through inquiry, through vivek, through and practicing vairagya. Initiate this inquiry. Every meditation should not be into an empty space. That is only giving, the mind is playing tricks with you. You have to inquire. I'm not the body. How? Why? The logic behind it. Contemplate. I'm not the breath. The logic behind it. Take the position. I'm the observer. It's the observed. How can I be the observed? I'm superimposing on it that without breath I cannot live. But when I am not the breath, I am the observer, I am an independent principle, scriptures say, then why am I having this feeling that without breath I will not be alive? But I have never died. It's frustrating initially, no doubt. It's frustrating initially. Sometimes you will get lost in what you are thinking about. What you want to drop, you get caught up in that. Because steadiness has not come. But you trial, error, keep coming back. Practice makes a man perfect. So the practice is initially thinking about the Atmic principle, coming to a deep conviction that all these conditionings I am not. Then let's see how the text will give us some other exercises of how to be established in that which we already are. Sada sarvagatopyatma na sarvatravabhasate buddha vevavabhaseta swachheshu pratibimbavata. It says, the Atman does not shine in everything, although he is all pervading. He is manifest only in the inner equipments, the intellect, buddhi, just as the reflection in a clean mirror. This example I have already told you. That Atman does not shine in everything. It is shining just like the sun is not able to reflect in everything. If it is a mirror, very good reflection. If it is a stone, is there a reflection? It is there, but it is gross. But take that same stone and shine it, it will be able to reflect. What is shining of a stone? Taking all the roughness away from the surface, isn't it? Taking it away from the surface. So right here also the light is shining everywhere. But on this glass it is more evident. On the wood, certain points you can see the reflection. But rest of the place you are not. That is general light, that is specific light. See? Exactly. So Atma is reflecting in the gross body, in the vital air, in the mind, in the intellect, in the deep, in the causal state also. Because it cannot be another. It cannot say I don't want to reflect there. It has got no choice. Then where can you catch it? Can you catch it in the gross body? Because the ability to reflect and can you see the reflection of the Atma in the gross body? No. The breath is too erratic. There also we cannot catch it. Mind, it's at the mercy of all the thoughts. So many thoughts continuously from the senses they are coming in. There also you cannot catch it. In the deep sleep state or the causal state, which is a state of ignorance, there also you cannot catch it because it's utter darkness. In the intellect you can catch it. Just like that reflection cannot be caught on the whole chest of drawers, but on that specific point, which is shining enough, has the ability to reflect the light. See? Like that. So where do you catch it? In the intellect. What happens in the intellect? I thought. Catch the I thought. Catch the I. Catch the I. Catch the I. Come back to the I. Not what it is illuminating, not what it is associating with. Come back to the I. Who is this I? Why am I thinking I? That also you will come to watch eventually. But initially do that. And in this way, just like the government in Australia functions from Canberra. Its scope is throughout the country. But if you want to meet the minister or the prime minister or anyone to meet the government, you have to go to Canberra, isn't it? Even though it is available in Melbourne also. But where is the seat of central government? Is it in Melbourne? It is in Canberra. So you have to go to the actual seat of the government. Exactly the same way. Where is this reflection can be caught? It is illuminating everything. It is reflecting everywhere. But it has a particular spot, if you can say that, specific place where it can be seen evidently. It can be caught because it is available. You can, if you can see it, then you can do something about it. Here I am not even able to see it in the gross body. So where is that point? That is the intellect. So body is very gross, mind is always agitated, and it is only in a very refined intellect, not even a normal intellect. Only in a refined intellect this reflected consciousness can be caught. And in this way, here the example, another was that of just as the reflection in a clean mirror. I have given you in the clean mirror, the reflection is absolutely as it is. But there is a difference. What is the difference? Here, your right ear in the mirror, it is the left ear. It's opposite, isn't it? But in a clean mirror, one thing is for sure: who you are, as you are, is completely, entirely, without any aberration, is reflected from the river. What is that place within us where the consciousness, without any aberration, is reflected? It is the place of the intellect. देहेन्द्रिय मनो बुद्धि प्रकृतिभ्यो विलक्षणं तद्वृत्ति साक्षिणं विद्यात् आत्मानं राजवत्सदा. One should understand that the Atman is always like the king, distinct from the body, senses, mind and intellect, all of which constitute the matter, Prakriti, and is the witness of their functions. We already talked about it, but we'll look at it in our. What's the time? Yeah, so just we'll stop here, sit for 10 minutes in meditation and be ourselves for a change. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.